And now it's time to start the show with Bl'Artagnan, Raw Life, and some girl. This is the Lifestream.
Hello, 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 beautiful friends, family, supporters of the Lifestream. Welcome to Lifestream number 31. 31.
What?
I am your hero. I am your favorite host. I am your champion. I am your Elden Ring professional gamer. Raw Life. Thank you guys for joining us. I am also joined by Bl'Artagnan. Bl'Artagnan, talk to the people, man.
Hello, people. You are in the midst of the most exciting BT Plus cycle we have received since XDeath BT graced us back in 2021. This is the Greg BT cycle. It is very exciting. A lot of hype characters who do lots of cool and interesting things that are worth pulling for. It's incredibly hard to say these things with a straight face, but thankfully I'm not on camera, so I can get away with it. Some girl, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Not going to agree with some of those takes, but we will have plenty of time to discuss those later on. But otherwise, I'm doing all right. Kind of tired, but that's Monday for you.
I'm seeing a lot of trash talk in chat. I'm going to choose to ignore that because I'm the bigger man. I want to get my plugs out of the way. Shout out El Cid, the animated, not animated, but the emotes you guys use and love in our chat. Those are by El Cid. Check him out in our bio, our Twitch bio. We've got his link there. Very, very cool. And Bard, Dystopia Bard, my sworn enemy, wrote us a song, and that's what we play every time when you guys come to join us on Monday nights. So thank you, Dystopia Bard. He's got a cool video out with Sinewave, FF2 guy, fellow guy enjoyer. So check that out if you have a chance. And you're watching this, so I know you have a chance. What happened? It's been a week. Nothing, no big news, no dramatic cataclysm in the community. No doom saying. Were there any events? We got Greg, right? Bl'Art? Gilgamesh?
We did. Yeah, we luckily, as we know, the community is completely unified. Square Enix is running an extremely effective and tight ship with no management-directed mistakes or questionable decisions on the business side of things. Instead, we have an extremely useful and powerful BT, which you can invest your green ingots into in order to create something that definitely is worth having now that we have Garnet.
Oh, you're talking about Kefka, right?
Hey!
Damn it. I was doing so good. I was doing so good at keeping it dry as the desert, and you went and had to just. Damn it! No, everything is ruined. Everything's on fire. Of course, current events within and without the DFFOO community are kind of just a disaster piece, but we're going to keep it on the DFFOO side of things. There's been a very curious decision on the devs, or I don't know if you call it the devs or the company's part. I guess it's Square Enix's decision. So they're rolling out in about a month or so. This happened to JP earlier and is now coming to GL, a 300,000 paid gem cap, meaning that if you are at or over 300,000 paid gems, which are used after acquired free gems, then you just can't make purchases into the game, which is one great way to run a business. I've been monologuing for a little bit. One of you guys want to step in here?
Yeah, so I'm sure everyone, all of our friends gathered here, has heard about this, and probably all on the same side of it. I have seen some dissenting opinion, but basically...
Have you?
Yeah, I have,
We
actually.
don't have.
Believe it or not, the internet is a scary fucking place, and bad takes thrive there. They have essentially crippled any big-time whale supporter of the game. If this goes through, the main talking point that I want to point out, because I've seen people not really understanding this, it's not that they won't be able to buy stuff they want anymore. They won't be able to buy anything. You will not be able to get a Mog Pass because essentially you spent too much money on this game, or you supported this game too much. You will be locked out of all purchases until you spend all of your paid gems. On top of our get below 300,000. And on top of that, your acquired gems go first as it stands. So just imagine you were to have, say, 500,000 gems total, 150,000 pay acquired, and 350,000. I forgot the number I said, but anyway, you would have to spend all 150,000 of your acquired gems, one way or the other. Get rid of them down to 0. Then take your paid gems down from 350,000 down to acceptable mark below 300K, just so you can purchase a Mog Pass. And I know people don't really probably think every time you're using a Mog Pass, but artifacts. Your artifacts are double orange every time because of Mog Pass. Ultimate weapon
Character points.
Character points.
Yeah, the enhancement
That's gonna
points
be
are big.
huge.
That's the one
Yeah,
that
that's
matters.
huge.
Summon boards. Every facet of the game that can be made quicker, if you value your time, is basically being ripped away from anyone who has over 300,000 paid gems. We don't know if it's going to stick, but as of right now, that's the plan, and it kind of fucking sucks. I don't have 300,000 paid gems, so it doesn't affect me. Some girl, what do you think about this? And do you have 300,000 paid gems?
Oh, I know, I'm not even close. But I mean, it's very obviously like dumb as hell. I don't think there's really any world in which you could conceive of this as a good idea. Like even for me, who are like, I know I'm nowhere close to that paid gem cap, and I probably won't be there for years and years at this point. But even then, I look at like, do I want to buy a costume? It's like, well, but that's like 1 month closer to not being able to buy a Mog Pass anymore. Like, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, you have no way to spend your paid gems. So every purchase that you make,
It's just one step closer to the doomsday of not being able to get Mog Pass or like anything else.
So they're not only making people who spend money all the time not be able to anymore. They're making people who casually are every now and then spend money, like me and some girl, double think spending a dime. Why the fuck would I spend any money on this game if it means 18 months, 2 years from now, I wouldn't be able to buy a Mog Pass because I've spent too much? It's very, very weird. It's horrible, and
it's also Squarex has done a poor job of navigating this issue because, I mean, they're pretty terrible when it comes to communication in general. We give them a pass because at the end of the day, it's a goddamn mobile game, like, you know, whatever. But they're you know, Josh works very hard on the PR side of things, but he's one man basically, and so a statement was issued that effectively amounts to to bring DFFOO in line with company policy. From what we can tell, I think they're rolling out a paid gem cap across multiple mobile games or something like that. As I understand it, there's no plans to basically put a fix in, such as the fundamental issue is that paid gems are spent after acquired gems, and so the only way you could have any control over reducing your cap is to blow the entirety of your savings. And so you could look at this as some kind of cynical anti-hoarding tactic. But what bothers me about that mentality is that in order to have gotten to 300,000 paid gems in the first place, you have to be pretty darn planful about how you are spending and using your resources in this game, both in terms of saving your gems and in terms of buying. Because I don't know if this is an actual argument people are making in real time, but the straw man I kind of in my head thought up of for Pete when Ross said, "Oh, they're dissenting opinion." My first thought was, "Oh, probably people being like, oh, it's good. They're trying to safeguard people against irresponsibly spending on a gacha game and gambling and stuff." And those people, we know some of those people. Those people are not saving. Yeah, those are at 0 gems, and then they buy back into the system. Those are the kinds of. This does nothing to help those kinds of people if they do exist. Yeah. If this is not anything more than just a straw man I'm putting out. The people, like I'm thinking of like the Nidres, the Marks, the Minos, the day one player who's been loyally supporting this game and contributing to it, not just for the sake of having a big gem pop, but because they enjoy the game and want to pay back into it. And so they're taking that loyal base and suddenly cutting them off without any way to actually like find recourse. I don't think it's a straight up anti-hoarding thing because
can't be.
It can't be. It's just too crass. I think what my suspicion is, it's a company policy that didn't take DFFOO's setup into account. Because it's a very simple, if you switch it and it's like, okay, you spend the paid gems first, or you can choose which one you pay first. Okay, cool. Now the cap is no longer an issue. It's still something you have to be mindful of, but then it's like, okay, well now I just know I have to spend more gems. There's an upper limit, similar to like with burst tokens or most any resource in this game. There's an upper limit, and that's fine. there's no reason for you to be sitting on 150 burst tokens or 70 million gems or anything like that. So it's fine to have an upper limit. It's not fine to have that upper limit be gated by all this other stuff that you'd have to jump through to get there, especially since it's attacking your most consistent and loyal source of revenue there.
Yeah, it's especially bad to have that limit be like sort of retroactively applied, right? Like there are people who have had hundreds of thousands of paid gems for literally years, and to suddenly be like, nope, sorry, like that feels really shady to me.
What worries me is, I mean, I'm getting close to that cap. Like I'm at like the upper 250s, upper 280s, something like that.
Okay.
And I'm not like, I don't whale that hard. I buy the occasional costume for characters I like. I think in a moment of weakness, I bought a single high armor pack, something like that. Like I'm an infrequent whale plus the Mog Pass.
Wait, 250k is where you're at?
Yeah, no, I'm on the upper side of the limit. But like you compare that to like someone, I'm close. But what I'm saying is, I don't spend that much in the game. You compare me to someone like to like a Mark or a Nidra or like a really like kind of like intentional whale in that they've been playing the game for a long time. They're very planful with their resources. They've amassed quite a stash, and not just because they're like saving for no reason, but because they're responsible and consistent. So I don't know how many paid gems they're at, but it must be, if I'm after about only a year and a half of playing, I'm at almost the cap. They after like 4 years of playing, I can't imagine how much their paid gems are at right now. And to ask them to have to say, hey, you need to spend everything you have just so you can buy a Mog Pass, like that's
why would you do that? Like that's the thing is, I don't think it's the lead to anybody spending down their gems. They will respond to this by not buying anything because they're much better off keeping the resources they have than blowing all of them to be able to buy slightly more.
And I hate to cut in here, but Joey, thank you. 5 gifted subs. My lord. They've gifted 15 total in this channel. Thank you, Joey. I am going to ticket pull for Yuri or Quistis LD. If we get 10 subs, Joey immediately just blew 5 of them out of the water. So thank you so much, Joey.
Dang.
5 more subs before the end of the stream, and I will ticket pull for one of those trash characters. But there was some whispers of end of service kind of being a possible explanation, and it was a possible explanation, but it was not anything more than that. It was a random hypothesis that could have been true with no other evidence whatsoever, circumstantial or not, to back it up. The JP just did their Ope. They mentioned they recently mentioned Strangers of Paradise characters. They specifically this time opened up the BT pool to anybody, and they mentioned that Garnet is not going to come right now to JP, but will come in the future. So end of service is that take. Just go ahead and stomp that out. That's not happening. Maybe
I always thought it was a ridiculous take personally. I know we talked about this in private in like our mod channel and stuff, but like there's literally nothing about this game to indicate that it would be near end of service other than this one thing. Like they just had this massive hype anniversary with like all this new shit. They've had all these new player incentives. Like, why would you want to bring in new players to a sinking ship? That seems absurd.
The Shibuya Station marketing, I have no idea how much they spent on it, but hundreds of thousands of dollars. They took the biggest train station in Tokyo and just covered it wall to wall with giant murals of DFFOO, new character or new events, new player events, blah blah blah. Honestly, another baseless hypothesis that I wanted to put out there is that it may be because of the number of players. I think that between JP and Global getting their anniversaries right now, and the game is in such a steep incline of influx of players, there may be something internally. Again, this is completely without any other basis, but there may be something internally where they say, okay, now we're looking at a game that's just grown 50% in weekly players during this anniversary, and so there's something that needs to be set up to keep whatever rules. What else could it be? I mean, the game.
I mean, from what it sounds like, the thing is, well, here's the thing: if it was reversed and pay gems were spent first in such a way that, like, you don't have to blow your entire life savings just to buy a Mog Pass, then this would make sense from kind of a anti-hoarding perspective to sort of to force people to have to spend, similar, like I said, to the BT tokens. Like that's a reasonable thing for them to put in the game to try to kind of, as a kind of modest anti-hoarding measure. And so if they've looked at all their other mobile games, because I don't know, I thought I saw somewhere in the Discord while I was skimming it at work that this is kind of a more widespread thing across the company, and they said it's a company policy. If they were looking at those other games and saying, okay, anti-hoarding measure, pay gem cap, we're putting it across all our games, and it's going into DFFOO now, and they just that's my thinking, is it was a poorly thought out, broadly applied policy that didn't actually take the nuances of the game's design into account and has done nothing but irreparably harm the player base. Indolent Lord actually mentioned something in the chat that I want to touch on as well, because we mentioned earlier that, you know, most of us are kind of on the same page here about this being an absolutely idiotic idea, but just for the health of the game. But we've seen some dissenting opinions, as Raul mentioned, and you know, the common one being, oh well, yeah, I'm free to play, this doesn't affect me, whatever, which just shows a profound lack of empathy, a profound lack of ability to look at another person and see them as another person, because you're saying, you know, and it also is, in doing so, kind of the reason that empathy exists and the reason you're able to look at a person and recognize them as another person. The reason I look at my screen right now, I see Raw Life, and like when he's suffering in Lufania and he's, you know, he's a look of anguish on his face, my emotions say to myself, you know, feel bad. This, you know, there's a fellow human in suffering here, and the reason is because we're a social species. We all there's an interdependence, right? Interdependence. We all kind of work together here in a society.
Fuck you.
And
wait, I don't feel anything when I say that, except maybe like laughter. I don't know.
It was so good. I'm sorry.
God, I was
keep going,
such
keep
a good
going.
speech.
I know. Keep going.
And so you look at that, and you got the different people in the society working together. As we're a social species. This game functions like that in a lot of ways. We got the free-to-play players, we got the whales, the dolphins, whatever you want to call them, the paying players, and this is an ecosystem. This is a player ecosystem. And so if you say, oh well, this problem doesn't affect me, it doesn't, but the player base is going to suffer for it. And why does that matter? Because the game thrives and survives off its player base. It thrives off players playing it and, for lack of better words, paying into it. So. You know, I've heard messages basically saying, "Oh, you should be grateful for and yes, you should be grateful for the paying players existing, so that the game can continue existing." But like, less of ignoring the lack of gratitude side of things, just the fact that you can't recognize another person having a problem and saying, "Okay, I see how this negatively impacts your experience of this game and why you want to stop playing it or paying into it or stop engaging with the game," and then recognize, hey, in the broader context, if more people have that problem and go away, the game's health declines. The game declines, my experience of it declines, I suffer for it. That's basic human kind of cogitation, like kind of, not even cogitation, that's just basic human instinct, and the fact that you're not feeling that really kind of cheeses me off.
I would like to say, first off, amazing speech, soliloquy right there, Bart. You're exactly right. And I would go one step further and say, that's the problem in the whole world right now. We're not going to get into that because this is a DFFOO podcast, but if you're one of the people sitting around saying this doesn't affect me, why the fuck do I care? Where's my camera? You might be the problem, not just in DFFOO. That's all I'm saying. The whole world now could use a lot more empathy. And there's a whole lot of things that I care about a lot that do not fucking personally affect me. And this is a fucking tiny, doesn't really matter microcosm. Doesn't have anything to do with the real important stuff. But in life, you need some empathy, and in this world, we need some empathy right now. So, well said, Blart. Some girl, do you have anything else to add? We all know it's stupid. It's a dumb rule.
I mean, I think like
hashtag not a podcast. Just real quick, just throwing it out there. Real quick.
Did I say podcast?
No, you definitely didn't. And the recording isn't going to show that. No one should go back and check. Anyway, some girl, continue, please.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, like, I know there's been a lot of talk about the theories about why this may or may not have happened, and the one thing, obviously, we don't know. We'll probably never know exactly why this policy is implemented. A lot of them don't make a lot of sense. Like, trying to posit this as, oh, this is like an anti-hoarding mechanism makes no sense to me, because why would they want to stop people from buying gems to add to their hoard? That's money. Why would they not want it?
I can't seem to come across any. No one's really posited a valid example or a valid motivation for why they're doing this. So I can't say
I think it really is just a company policy. Maybe it is from Square Enix. We don't know, but
Soraya the Ranger has just gifted 5 more subs, and we are already at 10. Every fucking time I do this, I say next time make it higher. Next time do more subs so that you don't lose fucking resources on shit that you don't want. And every time I don't. And so Soraya, who did the first 5? Joey and Soraya single-handedly, double-handedly have got us over the hump. So as soon as I'm done with this attempt at the challenge quest, in other news, I don't know if I can beat the challenge quest because I don't have any of the characters built. As soon as we're done, I'm going to pull for Yuri or Quistis LD with tickets. So we'll see how that goes. It looks like I may be able to beat it anyway, even before I pull. But the gym cap thing is not official. Don't forget. Don't start spinning your gyms yet. It's not. It's official. It's been implemented.
Yeah, I would say official's not the word I would use there, but
it's not here yet
in the game.
Yes, and so until it's here, or until Squex either says something or doesn't say something ever, either way, don't go spinning all your gems. I've already seen people. This is not made up. I have seen people burning their gems on banners they do not want because they want to get back under 300k paid gems, just preemptively burning their gems. First off, don't do that. Second off, if you do that, it's exactly what Square Enix wanted. We're talking about how we can't find any motivation for them to do it. Well, I hate to say it, that's the fucking motivation right there. If everyone were to do that, that would be exactly what they wanted to do, because then you spend all your paid gems, which aren't an actual fiscal resource for Squex, but they are basically their currency in the game. So you're spending your currency that kind of translates to real money so that you can spend more real money. Do not fucking do that. Please. If you're watching this, don't do that. But I think that's about all we can say, Bart. Some girl, does anybody have anything else to say about the gym cap?
I feel like it's kind of all been said at this point, right? Like,
yeah, it's all been said. So we'll see what happens. Last thing I'm going to say on it, do not fucking bother Josh. Josh is a normal human being who has a job.
he just works here.
Yeah, that's exactly what my whole speech was about to
He's
be.
already heard about it.
Yes, this is that was my whole speech put into one phrase. He just fucking works here. Okay, the dude is going to do the best he can while he's working to do his job, which is to transfer. He's a community manager. To transfer the feelings of the community up the chain to the proper channels. He will do the best he can at that, and then otherwise, I'm not going to mention any specific places, but anything else that he does in his life has nothing to do with DFFOO. Leave the guy the fuck alone. Normal human being. If you're happy, sad, angry about anything that happens in DFFOO, that is just his job, and that's all I wanted to say about that. So we can effectively move forward into the phenomenal content we've been getting. The tough,
Oh, hell yeah.
God, the fucking sick fights that we've been getting. I can't wait to just really sink my teeth into these fights. Gilgamesh, well, I guess actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and quit this because I'm going to be pulling until I get either Quistis or Yuri. So this fight would be way easier with their LDs, right?
I mean, you're like halfway done. You might as well finish it.
You might as well finish it anyway. Greg will carry you, and we can talk over it in the meantime.
Okay. So Greg came. We kind of touched on him a little bit. I don't know if anyone pulled for him. Clearly, I got his LD. But do either one of you want to talk about Greg, his LD, and BT?
Yeah, sure. I will talk about one of my favorite characters in the Final Fantasy universe on account of him being a big dumb goofball, which I can relate to very much. So Gilgamesh, who we call Greg, is a Final Fantasy 14 reference, I want to say, shorthand. He's a melee attacker who I guess the vibe they were going for is his whole gimmick in the story is that he's pursuing the ultimate sword and traveling between worlds through dimensional rifts, and he's carrying a shit ton of weapons on him because he's a Benkei pastiche. And so he's just carrying all sorts of weapons and can do all sorts of doofy things with these weapons. And so the way they manifested that in the EX Plus era, and I guess when he first arrived too, is they gave him basically just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The idea being, he's kind of pulling out all sorts of things from his bags of tricks and throwing and seeing what sticks. So he had the melee imperil, he has the slow on his HP plus. Fun fact, he has a one-turn melee imperil. I don't know how many people knew about that. On his Kotetsu, his Brave plus. It almost never comes up, and I try to use it as often as I can, and it's never a good idea. He has like a 15% paralyzed chance on his skill 2, or on his Death Claw, along with like a partial gravity save, which they've upgraded to be a full gravity save, a la Bart's LD, which is actually nice to have. I don't think it's relevant right now, but it's nice to know that you have a button that says that thing is broken now. It's always a use kind of an evergreen utility, which I appreciate. They reworked his skill 2, so it's this. Well, they reworked both the skills. The standard, bunch of brave hits, no refunds between brave dumps. I'm trying to say HP attacks instead of brave dumps because I think it's easier to say. So it's more HP attacks, more brave hits, no refunds, which really kind of sucks. I just actually ran him with Kistis and Ketchi just so I could feel what it would be like if he had refunds, and man, that felt a lot better. But that team is not going to work in every fight. His EX, of course, with the C90 got the sweet upgrade, so it now is a full AoE delay and does splash damage and has a bunch of hits. So it actually is one of the better buttons from Depress, and it's his most consistent source of delay, which is important because we're going to talk about his LD in a second. And the reason we're talking about the LD is because it's part of my broader thesis on the character. C65, it's better now. God bless C90 and all that. And so his LD is interesting. It's both cool and not cool. I have really mixed feelings about this LD because what it does is it gives him every turn a new HP attack, a special HP attack, replacing his old useless one for that turn. And it's one of 4 things. He either copies Cloud, Onion Knight, Ramza, or Paladin Cecil's LD effect, more or less. Like, it's not a one-to-one copy. With Ramza, it doesn't delay. With Onion Knight, it doesn't give a free skill. Cloud's is the same, and so is Pestil's functionally, except doesn't give broken auras. But he basically gets to use that as a free turn, and then do his actual turn. Every turn he gets this. So that's actually a lot of free turns. So there's some interesting stuff you could think about there. But it is RNG, so like I was trying to run him in a delay comp, and that was weird because 75% of the time, and it felt like more than 75% of the time, if I'm being honest with you, he'd pull up a useless heal, and I'd be like, great, I can heal. This is exactly what I needed in this moment, not one of the 3 types of turn manipulation he has. And so, and I like the flavor of he's pulling out, like you can see here, he pulled out which one was that? He pulled out Icebrand, and he's been collecting these swords from all over the different games. And he has them and he uses them. That's a cool flavor. I like that. I like the flavor of this is how I feel his kit was supposed to feel like. He's actually pulling at different people's weapons and stuff. And I like that part of it. His BT effect is also very good. It's a good BT effect, lasts 12 turns, but it'll be half that if you use his special HP pluses. So that's it's good. Garnet exists, whatever. It would have been a lot more
standard.
It would have been a lot more worth talking about if Garnet didn't exist, I feel. Because I feel like the HP cap would have been more tasty, the HP damage would have been more tasty, the length would have been more tasty, but Garnet just kind of invalidates it. But yeah, you're right. It's standard good BT plus effect stuff, including HP cap, which is what we all are here for. Howdy, Chris. Canonically our favorite DFFOO streamer.
Canonically, to this day.
Canonically, to this day.
Canonically. Shout out, Chris 525.
And so, I know I've been talking about Gilgamesh a lot, but I have a lot of thoughts about this guy. Here's my issue with him, which is that they kind of, with this LD, just forgot that he had a kit. And I feel like that is an awful shame, because I have been unironically theory crafting what his C90 would look like since before they announced C90. And I thought there were some interesting things they could do. What I personally wanted to see was, I wanted to see his C65 empower the next skill he used to do a better version of whatever it normally did. So like it would make the paralysis more consistent if he did C65 then skill 1, or maybe if you did C65 then skill 2, it would be a full AoE damage that turn or something like that. You get the idea. Basically, something to make it feel like the other elements of his kit aren't just random hodgepodges that don't matter and never will matter. Like I can guarantee you now with his new LD, you'll never use the speed down on his skill. On his Genji blade or whatever. The melee imperil, who cares about that? That doesn't exist. Paralyze, you're not going to be using him for the paralyze. It feels like they gave him a kit, and then it's similar to the Terra thing, where it's like they gave him a kit and then just kind of forgot the kit existed when they gave him the new iteration. Also, as I mentioned, Brave Refunds between hits just feels bad. Brave Cap is just feels bad. But I feel like I've been talking for a while. I just feel like he's very RNG and doesn't bring enough with the RNG that he brings to really justify bringing him outside of just liking using him.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you had so much to say about him because I don't want to speak for some girl, but I don't have fucking shit to say about him. The only thing I do have to say about him is that it almost kind of makes sense that his kit is so wonky and like RNG based and unique, really, because that's his character. He is, I would say, probably the most unique character in Final Fantasy history. I just recently played Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, and I really enjoyed his character. He's just a weird, strange, he's a strange egg, and his kit it's just that. It's a very strange, weird kit.
I forgot. I had one more gripe before I pass this to some girl. Not to interrupt, but I hate that his LD shows the animation he does where he gives himself all these buffs. Because in Final Fantasy V, there's this thing where basically he's like, "Oh, I misjudged. I'm sorry, guys, for fighting you." And there's a pause, just a single beat for comedy's effect, and then he says, "Like, nope, I lied like a rug," and hits himself with every buff in the game, and it's amazing. It's just really just a very goofy moment. He just buffs himself like crazy, and then it's you finish the fight, whatever. It's fine, but so I'm annoyed that they give him all the buffs, and then it has nothing to do with how it works after that. Like, it just feels like flavor for flavor. Like it felt like a cock tease is what it felt like.
No, let's go
on this family friendly show.
Livestream after dark.
Like I really just felt
dark,
like, I expected so much. Like I saw the animation, I was like, "This is going to be awesome," and then it was. It went in a different direction, and I wasn't there for it.
Before I throw it to some girl, thank you, Joey and Soraya, for the 10 gift subs. I'm going to pull on this banner here with all my tickets until 0, unless I hit Yuri or Quistis LD. So that's what I'm going to do right now.
All right. You better hope it's Quistis.
I hope so. Go ahead, some girl.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about Gilgamesh either. I did not pull for him because he doesn't look very good.
I don't think he is. Serviceable, usable. I wouldn't say good.
Yeah. And there's other characters I'm more excited for coming up, so rather save.
Oh my god, he's single ticketing like a psychopath.
I'm single ticketing to 628. This is my ritual. I always single ticket to not an even number, but a
multiple of 10.
Multiple of 10, and then I start doing the 10 tickets. So you never know. With my on-stream luck, I may get it before I get to the multiples of 10, and I will win again. The good players do get the weapons. So
it's true.
Who came with Gilgamesh? Oh! Let me wait a second before I get farther into this.
Not this shit again.
Oh, here it comes.
Guy, the best tank in the game, got
Really?
his C90, and it's fucking good. And if you don't think it's good, you either A, don't understand the game, or B, don't have Guy. Guy got more dumps. He got blue armor, in my case.
He already had blue armor.
He got blue armor in my case, I said.
Okay.
And now he does more damage than Gilgamesh, Kefka, Kistis, and he's the best unit to use in the co-op. If you're a Guy fan, shout out to you. If you're a Guy denier, you don't understand the game and get good. I pulled Guy a long time ago, and I was rewarded. And I used him a lot of times. Cross, how many times have you used Guy? Peep that YouTube, baby, because I used him a lot of times. Most recently,
The number's going to be like 3.
Well, I mean, how many times has anybody, except for Sinewave, used Guy more than 3 times?
Because he sucks.
Yuri 70. Well, that was in the C80 era. Now he's C90, and there's been one fight since then, and I used him in that fight. I do hate Final Fantasy 2. Guy was the only good thing about that game.
I as a quick side note about the co-op, I was playing through the co-op, and I know everyone's saying that, this co-op kind of sucks, and it does. I was using Gilgamesh and just spamming LD, and I definitely was out damaging everyone else in the fight. So I'm not really sure what everyone else is going on about. I think it's just because Gilgamesh is keep using the free skills or something.
Yes, they do. They keep using the HP plus. And,
Okay,
like, doing
that's
the
a player
launches and
issue.
shit.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad. Like, I never want to see a Gilgamesh in this co-op because they'll like do
Yeah.
the launches and like all the shit. I'm like,
Where's
no.
my camera? You know what
skill
you
ceiling
want
is
to
just
see?
too high.
No, you know what you want to see in this co-op? No joke. You want to see 3 blue fucking guys. Dead ass. That is
No,
what
you want to see 3 green Gilgameshes
No,
who
you
press
don't.
the BT plus.
No. That's still no. You want to see 3 blue guys because he does 500k split full AoE on his EX. He does.
How much does a green BT plus finisher do?
How many green Gilgameshes are there in the world? Anyway,
there's like 80 of them. They won't shut the fuck up about it.
Cross in the chat.
Small but vocal minority.
Cross in the chat saying that. Oh, I'm done. Oh fuck! I think I'm gonna keep pulling. I don't want Yuri. I don't want to build Yuri. Fuck! I got Yuri so fast. Fuck! Joey and Soraya, you guys. Less than 100 tickets, and I could have stopped, but we'll get back to that.
Go for Keistis.
We'll get back to this pool. Oh, that's perfect. 5 more subs, and I'll go back in with tickets for Keistis. Anybody in chat? 5 more subs, we'll get Keistis instead of Yuri. But Cross in the chat, hating, saying that I'm a guy bandwagoner. I will say, if you look at the chat, the name of the stream, I was in hard, long, deep conversation with my 2 co-hosts. I won't say who it was, but 2 of my co-hosts were screaming. We were screaming. I called my lawyer. There was drafts written up for the ownership of Lifestream. And you want to know what the fight was about? It was about the title. I want Guy in the title because I think Guy deserves to be in the title because he's got a great C90 and he's finally getting some play. Do we need him right now? No. Does the content need a lock tank, a Earth Imperialer? No. But I love him. I used him a lot in the C80 era, and I think that he deserved to be in the title. So let us know in the chat if you think he should have been in the title, because I think he should have been in the title. And there's going to be some litigation probably in the near future because the fight got so violent. But I went.
Yeah, that sounds true.
I went to war. I went to war for Guy.
Cross, to answer your question about whether this happened, I can't speak to the matters that happen behind closed doors. They're NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, the sort of non-disparagement clauses, that sort of usual stuff. But I can say that the title was agreed to by all parties following certain concessions being made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't really litigation. It was kind of like settling out of court, like.
Okay, you guys, if you guys want to keep talking, there is a gag order in place regarding this. So if you guys want to keep talking, I got my lawyer right here on speed dial, and we'll get into it. But
we'll see how it goes in arbitration later on. But
So all you guys need to know is that I went to war for Guy, and it may not be over, but Guy got his C90, and he's good. He's a lot better than he was. Anything else to say about Guy? Probably not.
I mean, like, the point I was making about Guy earlier when we talked about it, and I think a lot of people, it'd be hard to disagree with this, is that he's good at what he does, right? He's got the HP damage mitigation. He's got standard C90 auras, and he has the damage. It's there. But what the hell do you need a tank for when the bosses don't have HP attacks?
I'll say that in this fight, at least, my experience was I found the fight a lot more, went a lot smoother if I brought just like a little bit of defensive backbone. Like, I'm not saying I needed to bring like a full tank team or anything crazy, but bringing one unit with some kind of defensive capability really just kind of tied the experience together, because the double targeted blood sword could mess you up if you aren't careful.
Oh, so a little bit of tanking, a little bit of defensive capability, but also current content, current damage?
It's
is that what you're saying?
When folks talk about good units and units who are worth pulling for, there's kind of a sort of investment feel to it, right? Like, a kind of look to like long term, several months from now sort of deal. I'd say Guy is fine. His biggest problem is that Zach BT is right around the corner, and Zach is really good.
Yeah, cost of investment.
It does literally everything Guy does, but
yeah.
better.
How many BT books are you going to use on Guy? How many BT shard ingots are you going to use?
The thing is, I'm using Zach right now, and he's killing it. Like I used him in this fight, and he was great. That's kind of what I'm saying.
I am irrationally angry. I want to move on from Guy because you guys
That is fair.
get it. You guys don't get it, and you're never gonna get it.
No, like I said, I think Guy's fine. Like he's definitely the winner of the set of C90s. I would say. I just don't think he's like
Fair.
noteworthy on the scale of C90s.
How is he not noteworthy? How is he not noteworthy? He's the best character released in the last 4 characters, and 2 of them are BT.
Because they were all shit.
Okay.
I'm
about to flip. I'm about to flip.
We've had some very exciting
on the
C90s.
stream.
Actually,
No, we got a lot of shit to get to, and I'm about to flip. You guys don't fucking get Guy. You don't get him. He has damage mitigation. You don't need it right now, but one day you will. He has Earth, Enchant, and Imperil, and he doesn't have to keep up his Imperil with his AA. Guess how easy it is to use his AA? He gets free skills. So you keep his AA up in a 90-turn fight. You keep his AA up all the time. So everyone's hitting weakness damage. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fight?
If there is one. We keep getting global first. We keep getting global first. Stop interrupting me. Fuck you, Blart. Fuck you, some girl. Guy is good.
I was going to agree with you, but now I'm going to back off.
No, I'm fucking pissed off. And here's why. Because Guy, just because the content isn't good right now, doesn't mean it's not worth adding someone to your roster who's really good at what they do. In multiple lockout fights, say we get another crevasse. You guys, you know what? You know what's going to happen? Let me see what Guy is. I know is he blue? I think he's blue greatsword. Is he blue? He's greatsword for sure. Anyway.
He's white, Crystal.
White. So he's white greatsword. The next crevasse, guess what? It's going to be white greatsword. And all you fucking Guy deniers are going to be like, God damn, I really need a lock tank with HP damage mitigation, with support capabilities, with enchant imperil capabilities, and I'm not done, Bart, and current level damage. He does good damage on his LD and his EX. He got more dumps, and he's doing good damage. You guys are gonna look silly if it's a white greatsword. And
I have Guy. I won't look silly at all.
My one thinking is if they have a GL first event, and I find myself thinking, I wish I had a white greatsword lock tank with enchant imperil and HP damage mitigation, I'll say, man, I wish I had that. Oh, good, Guy's on the banner because this event is tailored toward Guy.
I told myself, and I told my lawyer that I would keep my cool. I thought we could do a Guy. It's a random C90. I thought we could do the discussion, keep moving forward. I thought it would be quick. I thought we'd be in and out. And here we are. I'm about to punch my monitor. Can we move on to the fight? Sure.
I think
we have two other C90s to briefly mention. We've got Kepka got a PT plus in a C90. Rosa also got a C90. Does anyone want to say anything about that?
I mean, I said this in our mod chat, but I'll just say it here real quickly because I think it sums up the entirety of Rosa's kit. She's basically just, you take Lena and you remove the HP, you remove the true damage and the debuff immunity and give her re-raise and C90, and you have Rosa. Roughly, it's just, she's got good auras, she's got good healing, she got good battery. If you have someone who covers those things already, you don't need her, but if you don't, hey, Rosa. Also, side benefit, if you blue your Rosa, then Eamon actually becomes your best friend. It just, immediate, boom, best friend. You need a best man for your wedding, you suddenly, boom, Eamon, he's right there.
I mean, the thing that Rosa doesn't do that Lena does is any damage at all.
Well, that's what you have your nice good damage tanking Guy right next to her to actually roll out the damage.
If someone mentions Guy again, I'm going to end the stream.
I wasn't.
I'm going to end the stream and end my relationship as a co-host with you utter fools. Rosa, I had her LD. She's fine. Like, if you're Eamon, she's great. Did I interrupt you, some girl? Were you going to say something about Rosa?
She sucks.
Okay, fair enough.
Honestly, I can't see the benefit to this character at all. Like, her auras are fine. Her damage is bad. We have Aiko if you want the re-raise, who's just better in every way, does more damage, has better auras,
Does she
and
have
is a
better
better
auras?
re-raise.
I could have sworn the Rosa's auras were. I mean, I don't want to
Rosa
get too deep
has-
in numbers here,
Yeah,
but
Rosa has her attack aura is like
like pound for pound, I thought that like between her attack aura, she has like land equality, brave, and HP damage aura, but queen level attack auras, which I
I
would
don't
net
think
out
her
to
Brave and HP damage is that much, is it?
yeah, with the C90 they buffed it to be 50-30. I thought.
Is it really 50-30?
I think I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty. I saw it and I was like, oh, good. They finally tweaked her aura, so they're good again.
I don't. Whatever. Like,
doesn't matter.
I don't know. I just.
It's semantics at this point.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Rosa, if you love her, she'll do fine. She got a C90. Congratulations. We got to move on because we got 2 fights still to talk about. Who else?
Oh, I want to talk about how Kefka sucks, though.
Oh, Kefka was next. I'm doing the fight now, the Lufania Plus. I brought a very, very tough team to beat it with. Who knows if I will win or lose? It could be close. This was the Lufania fight, and not the co-op fight though, right? Yeah, the co-op fight was the fun.
Yeah, why are you doing this fight?
Just because we were talking about it, and I just wanted to have something to do while we were talking about it.
Yeah,
Kefka was the final C90. Some girl. What did Kefka get, and why should we care? Or should we care?
Well, he got a BT plus, which
Yay.
is nice. You know, we like BT pluses. They did actually fix the Kefka bug, yeah, but he got more dumps, and his AA does something. His BT plus effect is not that great, honestly. It's pretty underwhelming, and I think the problem with Kefka, and this has kind of been talked about, I think, by a couple people in the community, but he still has a thing where he takes 6 frame debuffs, right, to actually get his benefit, which is the HP silence. Which, first off, HP silence only matters if the bosses do HP attacks. And the other thing is, do you really want to use 6 frame debuffs for like an attack down or whatever? Like, most of his debuffs don't really matter anymore in C90. Like, defense down, attack down, who cares? Everyone's capping anyways. I'd rather use those debuff slots to put, you know, my Kurasame call and my Lil Zet call and my Dark Knight Cecil call. What do you... I don't know. I don't see why I would use this character ever.
There was a time when I kind of liked the idea of being able, of stacking one or more of those stat downs with some other comparable stat downs and just having like a big, super attack down team, super defense down team to suit the circumstance. But it really just is unnecessary at this stage of the game. It really does nothing. You get the high turn rate, so it's harder to take advantage of his BT plus aura. I'm also biased because I think Kefka's overrated as a villain, but that's a whole nother story.
I'm just now starting Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. Don't ruin it.
Oh yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. We won't get into it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the place we are with debuffs. Some girl mentioned it a little bit in our mod chat. How much does it really matter at this point to have like a powerful attack down or a powerful defense
speed down
debuff? Like there was a point in the meta where that was really, really great. And we're well past that point, to be honest. We're just what does that do for your squad that you couldn't better make use of with more, like some girl said, more HP damage up calls. I don't know. I've never used Kefka. I've avoided him every iteration, and I managed to avoid him here again. So if everyone's done with Kefka, we can move on to the fight itself that I'm doing right now. Bl'Art, some girl.
Yeah, I mean, I've used Kefka recently, actually. I used him in the Equinox fights that we got. I used him for the HP silence. He was good, but for the content that we're getting now, I just don't see any use at all for this character.
Yeah,
his BT plus is not good enough to justify the massive investment costs.
Yeah, every character we get, we have to look at through the lens of current content, which kind of sucks, and it kind of does the characters a disservice.
Mhm.
But that's the reality of the content and where we are. What use is a character if the content doesn't call for anything they do or doesn't require anything they do? So it's kind of unprecedented times.
That's kind of related to actually something I was talking earlier with someone about Aiko.
Yeah.
And how I think her kit's really cool, but it only works if the bosses have HP attacks.
If the bosses are brave attacking you every time,
Then you never get her counters, and she sucks.
Yeah. What do you need? What do you need Eco for? But Kefka got a C90. Guy, not gonna speak on it. Gilgamesh and who was the fourth one?
Rosa.
Rosa. I looked it up. It is 50-30. Still doesn't matter, or numbers are meaningless.
Yeah,
that's kind of true.
Just quality, because we're trying to keep our journalistic integrity here.
Yeah, and then we got the fight that I'm doing right now. I did want to kind of touch on this fight. We got to hurry up so we can get to the next fight and the new characters, but the orb here was kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed this fight. The orb is very, very low all the time. The max is 5, right? And the orb goes up on their turns, and it's lethal. So if these guys were doing more HP attacks, I think this could have been the most fun or the best designed fight of garbage time so far. I love the idea that their orb goes up on their turns. I love the idea that the orb is incredibly low. 5 is the max. And I love the idea that it's lethal. Unfortunately, they hit all the cool fight mechanics on a list, and then they got to what does the boss do, and for some fucking reason they said nothing, and then they got to the boss HP, and they said how much, and they said none. So close.
Whoa.
Guys, we were so close.
I don't think it was that close. This orb is like, you just press HP attack to tick the orb up. Any character in the game can tick it up.
Any character who has an orange HP attack.
Which is all of them. Well, actually, apparently King doesn't, from what I've heard.
That's really funny, actually. I think what Raw's getting at, I kind of agree with the fundamental, which is if the bosses were threatening and the fight wasn't over so quickly that you don't need optimization to get through it, I could see the concept being cool. Because if you did need to weave in special HP attacks into the fight to keep the orb up, and while still meeting the damage check, that would have been something interesting. Like, if you had to build a team thinking, okay, every so often, like every 2 to 3 player actions, someone has to be pressing their HP attack button. And for most characters, that's a damage loss. Most characters, if you press their HP plus, you're losing out on damage. If the turn count had been stricter, or the bosses had more HP or something, I think that would have created the tension that the orb feels like it's designed to create. But in practice, like you say, it's like many times when I was trying to run this fight, it was like, oh, I miscalculated, the orb was about to go off. HP attack, we're safe again because the boss just brave attacks.
Yeah, the boss doesn't do shit.
I will say one thing of why I thought this was so fun, and it was my fault, and I'm not too proud to admit it. I thought that the orb had to be a literal transformed HP attack. I thought it had to change the name. So, like right now on my screen,
they did change the name.
Dragon Wave, Papalimo, Foul. I thought it had to change from HP attack to a transformed new attack.
Yeah, like HP attack plus.
HP plus plus. HP plus plus plus. Those also work. So
yes,
if it was a little bit more restrictive orb, which is the way I played it on all my turns, I did Furion Guy, and Papalimo, and that was actually a fun little run. I enjoyed that, mostly because I didn't know that Furion could tick the orb, so it felt a lot more dangerous and claustrophobic. Go ahead.
I still don't know if that would make this fight particularly hard. I think at this point we have enough characters who pretty easily meet that condition. Like even your harsher version's condition, right? Because you could bring Lena. You could bring Machina. You could bring. We have so many characters nowadays who rely on their HP attack. Like you could bring Ursula. Her Tenchoa HP attack is really good. You could bring like Alize. Like
Oh, there's tons of characters who have a actually name transform HP attack.
yeah.
And also, pretty much every character has just the one that actually meets the orb. So,
Yeah,
I really
and Garnet
think it came down to numbers. Yeah.
you say what?
I think it really just came down. It really just came down to numbers. I think in this fight, like I said, the turn count and the danger that the bosses presented to you with their actual attacks. Like they even did the Lailfish thing that I hated when the fish did it.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
the whole like the jumping between your turn thing. Like that's a really obnoxious mechanic. Not like I don't mean like toxic or anything. I just mean what happens. You're like, oh, they got me. Like it feels like a very in your face mechanic. But when these guys do it, it almost feels like. Because the orb goes up on their turns, it almost feels like it's a good thing that they're doing it.
Yes, you want them to get more turns,
They-
especially in my
They do
run.
nothing.
Yeah, they don't do anything on their turns, and also I thought that
Bring
the orb
off-turn
was
damage.
dangerous. And so when they got turns, it felt good. I'm not sure that the bosses getting turns should ever feel good in a balanced setting, but it did. I'm almost done here. Who did you guys bring? Obviously, they could have done better. Once again, we got another garbage time fight. But Some Girl, who'd you bring, and closing thoughts on this fight?
Well, I'll do the closing thoughts first. This fight sucked. It's pointless. I didn't like this fight at all. I did run it twice with different teams just to try it. And the first time I brought Lena, Lilizette, and Ida. I was like, oh, Ida presses HP plus a lot. That might be fun. It wasn't very fun. Then I did Ishtola, Kais, and Alize.
And you won both times.
Yeah.
Bart, what did you
Very easily.
I think I ran a few teams through this, but I did the usual Machina blow it up fight, of course. Like, why not? And nothing more to talk about there. He even blows up the second half of the fight so fast they don't even get to do the turn jumpy things. It's pointless. But I mostly had fun running Queen through this fight. Queen and Lena were my two go-tos for this fight, just to play the fight with it feeling somewhat good. So I did Queen, Lena. Prompto was in there occasionally. I used Kled because he works great with Queen, and that was fine. But it mostly was the fight felt boring. It was just literally a place for me to be like, I like using Queen. I'm gonna use Queen here. Yada da da da. Queen, Queen, Queen. And that was the fight for me. It sucked, and the only good thing to come out of it really for me was it gave me an opportunity to use Queen, which any fight could have done.
Yes, I love Queen. I do want to remind everybody we got Yuri's LD in like 80 tickets thanks to Joey and Soraya. If we get 5 more subs, we will also pull for Kistis LD because I want to run out of tickets because I hate myself. So 5 more subs and we're pulling for Kistis LD with tickets.
As a fun side note, if every Kistis EX that Raw pulls, it's going to be a little traumatic flashback for him because
You're gonna bring it up. You're gonna bring it up after the guy fight. After the guy fight.
It's therapy.
After the
It's
fight
therapy.
we just had.
This is therapy. My big guy, you gotta let it out.
Okay.
You gotta talk about your trauma. You gotta get it out there. This is a safe space for you to share
Tell him.
with your peers, with your friends.
Fucking goose.
Also, you're gonna have to pull for it, so you better just kind of, resolve yourself, reconcile with it now.
Thank you, Goose, so much. We love you. But
Goose.
also, I know you didn't do that as a support. You did that out of spite because you hate me. But thank you, truly, honestly.
Correct.
Thank you for your support. We do love you, Goose. Well, now I have to pull for fucking Kistis after I already got Yuri. So, what else? This fight over. Can we move on? I'm so fucking upset and frustrated with Bl'Art. Oh no, we didn't finish talking about why I'm upset with you, Bl'Art. I pulled Kistis. What was it? Her EX or her LD? I don't know. It was her LD. And I purpled her EX. Everything was good. I was going through, selling all the weapons that I got on that banner. And I sold her purpled EX. So I actually have her EX passive all done, everything good, but I do not have an EX to equip. So the only other option would be... Oh my god, I'm about to die from the fucking orb. Jesus Christ, good thing I paid attention.
I was so waiting for you to die.
Holy shit, man, that was close. Whoa!
I know.
We can still lose. We can still lose. Don't lose faith in the live stream. We can still lose on these fights, okay? We can do it.
I was watching that orb like I was so invested.
God, that was so close. So yeah, I'm about to pull for Kisses because our friends Joey, Goose, and Soraya, thank you guys. But every EX I get, I will be very, very physically sick because I sold her purple EX. And so even...
Won't you be happy so you'll actually have her EX again?
No, because think about it. Unless I buy an ultimate weapon whip, I have to purple another copy of her EX just to equip. So that fucking sucks. But that brings us great segue as I leave this fight to pull on Quistis. We did get 2 events since the last time we were together, and the new event was Yuri, whatever fucking game he's from. Yuri's
Final Fantasy
LD.
Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates.
Oh, it's a big time Yuri fan here, folks. Everybody. Some girl, tell us what
I actually
Yuri
do like that game quite a bit.
Did you pull for Yuri?
I did pull for Yuri.
Tell us how that went.
Fuck. He's bad. Like, I don't know, man. This character is...
just a lot of...
He does damage. An amount of damage that is greater than 0.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably less than Guy's damage.
It is, by the way. I know that it is, but keep going.
And he doesn't do anything good. I don't know. I don't like this character at all. I don't know what they did with this kit. It feels awful to play. Even in Synergy, I wasn't really having much fun using it. Yeah,
Let's
so
go!
Okay.
Good players, get the weapon! Players, get the weapon! Every time! Every time! How many times? How many times?
Can we get some... Oh, God. Can we get some raw lives in the chat, please?
Any question?
No, the best part about this is, though, Rostel doesn't have her EX.
Any question?
Hey,
God,
question?
I do have a question, bro. I do have a question.
Good players get the weapon.
I have a question.
Sorry
Can I ask my question?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, some girl. I do.
Oh, yeah.
apologize.
My question is, do you have her EX?
Oh, fuck. God damn it, dude.
Oh, no.
I maxed her EX and sold it on accident, and so, fuck. I cannot believe that just happened. God damn it. What do I do?
How many EX tokens do you have?
I met my requirement to the chat and to Goose and Soraya and Joey by pulling, and good players get the weapon, so I got the weapon. But if you missed it earlier, I sold her fully purple EX last time Prince of Lude with the follower. Thank you so much. Last time she was on a banner, and so I'm in a pickle now. Fuck.
Yeah, just make a 0 out of 5 whip.
Well, she already has her EX. She already has her EX passive. Could I not just equip the LD on her?
I don't know. It'd be lower stats, and you might not have enough CP for everything you want.
Bl'Art has just subscribed to our own channel in order to make me pull for the EX. God
They said
almighty.
just make a 0 out of 5 whip.
I'll do 100 tickets for the EX just for the chat. But the deal is, I will pull 100 tickets for the EX as we continue to talk. Quistis, I'm so sorry, some girl. What were you talking about before I just fucking got?
All right. So Yuri, what Yuri does is he got this new stacking debuff that every time he attacks an enemy, they gain a stack of his debuff. And when the stacks get to 3, you want to press his Brave Plus, which will do a big triple dump AoE, big damage attack. It is high turn rate, doesn't add to the turn count. And that's supposed to be his big damage button.
How many HP attacks did you say there?
3 AoE dumps.
Spicy. That's something, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it is high turn rate, and it is a free turn. But it's like every 4 turns he can press it, and you can like press on each enemy too. So like if each enemy has 3 stacks, you can do it twice in a row. But it just feels bad to like have to jump through all these hoops, and then your reward is 3 dumps.
Yeah, like I feel like it reminds me of like how to put it. I mean, it's exactly what you're talking about, because this isn't the first time we've had a character where like they have a gimmick that you have to, like a little mini game you have to play in order to get the rewards. Off the top of my head, like Emperor with his traps, you want to get him and apply the traps and get him in front of them to get the reward of the extra traps, or Jagron with his stacks. If you're not doing the green thing, which that's a whole
which is a horror. Like I've played LD only Jagron to prove a point. One time I did a run with LD only Jagron. It felt fucking awful.
Yeah, but maybe bad example, but you see what I'm getting at. Like there are some characters here where like you're trying to kind of play the game with it. Like with Kurosame, even if you're playing with Kurosame on the field.
That's actually the example I was thinking of. I loved playing Kurosame on release, and I still use him in the party a lot because I really enjoy the play style of like you got to try to figure out how to increase the number on his stacks to just right so that like the enemy's turtle take it up to 5 and you can do your big burst damage and stuff.
Yeah. And usually those like you have to play a mini game to get the bonus effect things have a reasonably good payoff. Like say you will back at Jagron, like his follow-up attack is the biggest part of his kit, and when he's working well, that's where his damage is coming from.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Like I said, with Emperor, that's where his big damage comes from. And that when Emperor is relevant, right now maybe not the best spot, but like when he is current in the meta, Emperor's damage ceiling is one of the highest in the game because of how his traps work. The payoff for Yuri feels like it should be higher given who he is. Like even like I go with
his base skills aren't great. It's like one of them's 2 AoE dumps, the other one's 3 single target dumps.
His EX looks like it hits pretty hard.
Yeah, it hits harder than his Brave Plus.
Every C90 EX hits hard. I mean,
well, yeah, but the issue here is Raw that he's got this like special Brave Plus that you have to build up for, but it doesn't even hit as hard as his EX. And it's like, why did I do all this shit if it's just worse than his EX and like LD?
I was watching Gabilan run Yuri through this fight, and his solution to dealing with this was just he brought him alongside Kled and just charged his EX every turn and had him do he just alternated EX
so much better.
He just went EXLD, refresh buff with Relic Crystal, but EXLD, and it worked fine, but like it killed the fight dead, but it was like it felt like the character's gimmick was
it's not a good gimmick right now.
Not the prize of the character, which is a shame.
Yeah, like I think another good, kind of slightly different example, but a character who has kind of like a not very good base kit, but builds up to like a big, big payoff damage would be a character like Strago, right?
Yeah,
where Strago's got these like kind of shitty base skills, but you use them and then you get his EX, which is just like 8 AoE dumps, like just blowing shit up, and it's like, it's 3. Like, who cares? Why did I do all this work?
Well, it's weird because right now there are a number of C90 characters where it feels like the gimmick because of C90. Like I look at Noel, Strago. I'd even put Queen in there because of how her kit works. Where like to play them at their best, you want to get their EX charged as fast as possible if you can. And with Yuri, that is the case, but not because of how his design is working and how his gimmick. It's not his gimmick that makes it that. It's just because they misbalanced his kit.
Yeah, because the rest of his kit's balanced to be such shit.
Even though it looks like it should be telling you to like play toward his LD debuff gimmick. It's like, no, actually, all you're trying to do is EX as often as possible.
It feels worse to me too because it's like his Brave Plus doesn't charge his EX. Like
Oh, God.
it's like when you're pressed. If you like have 3 enemies, you like do 3 parties of his trap. It's like that's time I'm not pressing his EX.
Yeah, and something I've heard a lot said, and I think it might just be because Goose keeps saying it. I'm not sure, but if his
Yeah,
Brave
probably.
Plus was instant turn rate, it would kind of fix the holes of his kit.
Oh yeah, no, that would feel great. Like
I want to say in JP that's part of the rework they give him in the touch up, because I know when he gets his BT and FR, he becomes actually quite potent and good. It just
yeah, the other thing he gets is like a shit ton more dumps on his Brave Plus.
exciting. But as always, we try to talk about the character in the context of their current GL release.
Yeah, and his current GL release is not good. I would not recommend anybody pull for this character. Even if you're like a big Yuri fan, I would still advise caution.
And this is coming from a big Yuri fan, so
Yeah, I know. I love Yuri. I actually this intersecting wills. I loved like the cutscenes and stuff. I thought it was like really nice because I like the character and I like the game.
Goose is saying in chat, pour one out for BC. Yeah, we're gonna pour one out for BC because he is he's trying his damnedest to support Yuri in this iteration, and it is just
It's just not good.
It's rough. It's
Oh,
rough.
good.
Shout out BC. Follow Black Nero, Black Cloud on YouTube. He's suffering right now trying to make this work. So
I mean, he works. He clears the content, but
Well,
I'd rather use.
But at what cost?
Yeah, I'd rather use someone else who does more damage. Like, I'd rather use Guy. Hell,
yeah, because he does more damage. I hate to break in here, but we are short on time. Somehow we found a way to stretch this show out with barely anything to talk about, and that's fucking show business, baby. But we do have a couple more C90 characters and a fight to do, and you guys know how the fight takes the longest time. So instead of building Kistis, I'm going to go ahead and head towards that fight. What other C90s did we get with only one with Yuri, right?
yeah, Quistis.
Kistis. Side note, Bl'Art, if you say the names Kistis, Kate Sith, or Lloyd again in the fucking weird ways that you've been saying them all night, I am going to flip out. So,
I really think it's really rich hearing you say that while you mispronounce Lude's name.
what? It's better than Lloyd, or whatever the fuck Bl'Art keeps saying.
I have it on not very good authority that it could have been pronounced Clud.
Clud, Kate, she, and
You can't even mispronounce my mispronunciations.
whatever. What did Kistis get? I mean, surely nothing, right? She's seen nothing.
She's actually pretty good. I think she's one of the better returning C90s we've gotten.
Well, I have her.
She's lucky that her niche is so specific and that she's so good at it and that it's so potent. It's those three things that combine together to make... I feel like on paper, the thing she got would have made any other character look kind of meh.
Yeah, she got a couple more dumps on her skills. She got better auras. I think
HP damage up.
Yeah, she didn't have any party HP damage before, I'm pretty sure. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And she has that now, which is kind of the bare minimum for... I mean, it already was the bare minimum for support when she got her LD. So it was kind of a surprising exclusion from her original release. But she has that now. She delays more, does more damage. Her EX delays now, which I believe is new.
It just delays the target, but it is better than what it used to be, which is nothing.
Yeah, it used to be a terrible button.
Now it's 3 dumps, so in theory it could be her biggest... I think it's her biggest damaging button outside of LD, which is now a full double dump. Although when I used it, I found... I don't know. She still doesn't hit very hard, but that's not really why you're bringing her.
Right.
But she's so good at delaying that it doesn't really matter, because she's one of the only characters in the game who, against bosses who say you can't stop my turns from coming, she says, no, I can stop your turns.
And sometimes we have a few characters who can do that, but none who do it the way that she does.
Yeah, like there are characters out there who, like, you got like spam rebreakers like Vayne or Zell or Null, who against certain bosses can prevent, can delay them into oblivion, even though they're delay immune. You have characters with frame turns that like just say, "Oh, we can't be delayed, deleted, turn delayed, anything." And Keistis does not care about that. She sends their turn to the Shadow Realm, no questions asked.
I'm gonna step away 5 seconds while you guys talk about the fight. That's Quistis. I have her now, so thank God that she's not total dog shit. But after Quistis, we got a new fight, and who knows? As you can see from my game, I have not touched it yet. However, I'm not going to play into the whole bring this team. This is the team I'm bringing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you'll get another fail video. I see that.
I respect the double enchant on this. I respect the double enchant pick here.
I have to bring Earth Enchant because I have to bring Guy because people were hating on him. So
I ain't questioning.
I don't know how it. I don't know how it interacts. I don't know if he's going to make it so that people don't hit Holy except for Kuja, but I don't care. So fuck it. I'll be right back. You guys talk about this.
Okay.
Right. Well, I gotta say, I liked this fight more than the Gilgamesh fight.
For sure. I think this fight was actually
After what we've been seeing, this felt like a glass of water after crawling through the desert. Like it's not a full-on oasis. It's not like gonna. I'm not saying it's like, oh, okay, now good. I'm healthy now. It's like, oh, okay, good. This is enough to keep. I don't feel like I'm parched anymore. I can continue crawling, if that makes sense.
I don't even want to go that part personally, but
okay.
I think this fight is a
HP
really
attacks.
good example. Yeah, it actually does have HP attacks. Gonna miss those guys. This fight's a really good example, though. The fight can have like interesting mechanics, but if it doesn't have health, who gives a shit?
Yeah, the skeletons, like the mandatory skeleton phase, and I will say I'm glad that I finally get to a chance to use the phrase mandatory skeleton phase. But that definitely, I liked it, and it lengthened the fight. But the guy is so squishy at base that it adds up to more of the same.
Yeah, like in theory, if you give the skeletons turns, they can fuck you up. But
now that he's back, can I use that phrase? I feel like that could be too spoilery. He wants to go in blind, but I really like that phrase.
No, I don't want to go in blind. If I fail another Lufania Plus during garbage time on stream, I am going to delete the game from my phone. So tell me what the fuck is going on. Please,
Okay. I'm just
please.
All I'm gonna tell you at this stage is mandatory skeleton phase.
yeah, all I'm gonna say is do something about those skeletons, or you're gonna be boned.
Hey!
Ooh.
Yo, that was good. That was
humorous.
That was really good. So he calls some skeletons, huh? Licks enhancement cancel fall effect cannot be delayed. What the fuck? Summon skeletons. Grant self following effects cannot be delayed. Cannot lose turn. Okay, well, why the fuck am I bringing it on?
You know what I actually really like about this boss description I hadn't really thought about? I like that they explicitly say, here are the thresholds and here's what happens at the thresholds.
That's cool. I'm about to switch.
It has a really interesting mechanic that I really like that we'll talk about when we get there. But
I'm going to switch it on for an ultimate weapon character because I want
Nice.
one.
Some girl, does that mechanic start with the letter P?
yes, it does. I was like,
Nice.
what is he talking about? But I figured it out.
Yes, we solved the puzzle.
Oh, there is a little quality of life we got. I don't know if it was since the last time. I think it might actually be.
That was.
And
it was in the.
This is exactly right now what we're looking at. Switching an ultimate weapon off Papalimo, it used to just take his weapon away, and he just put on a bronze weapon, and all his CP was fucked up. Now, with the new quality of life, I took that off, and I guess it put on his EX, his purple EX.
Yep.
And so that's a cool quality of life. That's very nice and
very nice.
So this is the team I'm going to use. I'm not going to try to delete turns if he's undeletable. I'm just going to use somebody who does a little trap on if they get a turn. So hopefully this will be fine.
I gotta say, I appreciate that Prince of Lewd is saying that they love getting boned by skeletons. That really, that feels poetic. Thank you for that.
Blitz Crimson, first time chat from a viewer. Shout out. Let's get some Raw Life screaming in chat for Blitz Crimson. Welcome. We're here every Monday night, man. Come hang out next Monday night. Kistis actually delays this undelayable boss when I used her for this with Fanny Plus. Great. She has delayed. What would you call it? True delay?
He ignores delay immunity.
That's the right way to say it. I'm gonna instead choose to say true delay. So that's what she does. She does true delay.
She gives the boss reverse blocked turns.
Undelayability.
She gives the boss reverse high turn rate on your turns. This is the team I'm gonna do it with, and if I do it, then I do it.
Oh shoot! A prediction. I'm gonna toss it up there.
Oh shit! Yeah, go ahead. If same player acts 5 turns, wait, it went away. What happens if the same player goes 5 turns in a row?
A powerful attack follows the next turn.
Oh great. I do want to say one thing. There's been lots of liches in different games. This specific iteration of lich is from Final Fantasy IX, the best Final Fantasy of all time.
Spoilers.
Some girl is playing Final Fantasy IX live on our stream. We're going to try to do it every weekend if possible. And she just started last week. So if you ever see us on, go ahead and hit that sub bell or that whatever the fucking notification is so you can see when we're playing Final Fantasy IX. We're having a great time. We're having a good time. It's great. It's the best game ever. Some girl, are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's been a good time so far.
You
I have my issues with it, but
Okay. You love everything about it, right?
yeah.
Great. So I don't know what this boss does, but fuck it. You know, we got a green BT. We got 2 C90s. What's the worst that could happen? The orb is...
You embarrass yourself and die.
Player deals Holy Brave damage and at least 200,000 HP in 1 turn. Plus 10. Holy
What
shit.
the... Apparently, the question, will Raw perfect the fight first try, is not compliant with Twitch's content guidelines.
Are you kidding me? It's bullying. It's e-bullying. It's honestly
I think this is
cyber harassment.
e-bullying.
Yeah, it's cyber harassment.
I think this is cyber harassment.
Thank you, Twitch.
Just rephrase the question, maybe drop some words, I don't know.
Yeah, Raw is probably too explicit. Good point, C-Sam.
Damn it. I tried typing in "you know what I'm trying to ask" as the prediction, and they said that's not compliant with the content guidelines.
D Knight, I will stop playing real quick because I don't want to get too far into it, so you guys can see if I'm going to win or lose. Because D Knight with the solid question in chat: do we get to bet today? That is a small subset of our supporters that I haven't thought about. A lot of people just like to bet against me or bet for me. So
that's true.
So
it's almost like to make intelligent decisions.
So shout out to you, D Knight. We will wait till we get that up. We got to make it.
I
1
don't
minute,
understand.
Though. We got to make it.
I've
1
tried
minute.
so many different options.
Just say will he win?
I just typed in "can we do this?" and they're like, "this name is not compliant with our content guidelines."
What the fuck?
Let me.
I tried will Raw win. I tried. Hold on.
I will
Yep, just 3 question marks.
I will warn you
I'm
guys.
sure,
If you make it so that it just says like will we pass, I will gym revive just to be difficult. So.
I'll see if I can make this work.
Some girl, our resident IT specialist.
All right, there we go. Wait, is predict the right one?
All right.
Yeah, 1 minute.
So you guys only have a minute. Real quick. This is the team. The calls are Dark Knight, Cecil, Vanille. Wait, that's Vanille. Lilith, and I don't know who the third one is. So you just got to guess. Who the fuck did I bring? Oh, Fran. I did bring Fran. So will I pass? Will I fail? Gym revive is off the table. Because it was stated as a perfect.
Will we get a perfect first try?
Maybe it's because I put the no answer as no, he's boned.
Oh,
that's definitely the reason.
That would do it. Yeah, dude. That's.
Dang.
You were playing off of some girl's hilarious dad joke, which
It was an extremely good joke, and I wanted to incorporate it, but it was too risque for the Twitch content guidelines.
I am a little nervous because I have become physically ill. I am sick of losing these fights first try.
All right.
All
then
you
win.
guys are sitting at home. You're playing on your little phone. You look up what's a good team to use. What does this boss do from the privacy of your own home? I'm out here. That's show business, baby. I'm out here just putting my life on the line. First time I've ever fought this fight. Don't know what's going on every week, and then I die, understandably, even though I'm a great player. And I just get torn to shreds, man. So we're gonna win this one. So hopefully you guys voted for me, and I'm about to.
How long was the betting process? Because it's already over, and it felt very quick.
A minute.
1 minute.
Ah, okay.
60 seconds.
I feel like that's okay.
Well, I wanted to get the fight going, so you're a little
Yeah.
behind pace.
Yeah, let's get this over with. I want to.
Are you suggesting that if we let them bet after we all had started fighting, that it would impugn the integrity of the voting process? I know there's a lot of big words in that question.
I'm not hitting the orb. I don't know why. How do
I don't
you make Kuja enchant? Why is he not enchanting?
His overhead. He is enchanting.
Yeah, he is enchanting, but Guy naturally hits earth damage, so he can't be enchanted.
Well, Ra doesn't understand this. It's just...
Okay. Well, we can break it down after. We'll give you a debrief post.
Well, the orb.
Post show.
Yeah.
Well, the orb is oh shit, that wasn't 200,000, so it didn't hit.
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to just BT. Fuck it. Well, when you hit the orb, it goes up by 10, right? So, and the max is 10.
That's true. It does. That is an accurate statement.
Okay, so that should hit the orb.
It will.
Oh, but then it was his turn, so he went to 8. Is that right? Why did it go?
Yeah.
That was his turn. Okay.
I don't know.
God,
One way to find out.
God Vanille was a horrible choice. Oh man, I didn't think of Vanille. What? Wait! What's wrong with Vanille?
I don't know. You'll have to play the fight and find out.
I feel like you guys are unnecessarily leaving.
Is this
things out.
bullying?
Yeah.
No.
Cyberbullying. Look at all that
Where-
brave refund. Look at that.
Yeah, so Guy
So what-
actually got the Brave Gain on crit thing that Alize has.
So what is wrong with
Selfish
Vanille here?
Pretend.
Why is everyone talking shit about Vanille here?
So
Because she can't do 200k.
Yes, she can. Watch this.
split across targets.
No, she's about to do 200k right now.
Yeah, her EX does, but
Oh, okay, then you're fine.
on demand she can't. Which is good, which just makes this a little dicier than it needs to be. That's all.
Sounds like people are cowards, Raw. I think that's the problem.
Honestly, you guys don't trust me enough. Have I ever failed you guys?
Yes.
Don't answer that.
Too slow.
I have a question.
I gotta say,
Why is the
Kuja
orb-
feels really good in this fight, though.
Why is the orb only going to 8 every time I go?
Uh,
I'm not answering that.
Answer it!
No. I'm being cyberbullied and not answering.
It's max is 10. Okay?
Yes, that is
So-
accurate.
Wait, I can't fucking hurt him unless the other guys die?
Mandatory skeleton phase, baby.
God damn it. My question's still not being answered. Either in chat or by you guys. Oh, it is being answered in chat. Honestly, thank you, chat. -2 player action.
Yes, it goes down by 2 on your turns.
I like to think
It's
that
been
having
going-
the chat answer these questions is part of a healthy interactive kind of experience.
Yeah, if they want to see me win. Prince of Loot. Prince of Lude. This is the second time this question has been asked, and every time I giggle. Prince of Lude says, Raw is new, right? So I'll drink to that. That is the second time. The best was when somebody said that in chat, and a little thing came across, and it said, first time chatter, and it said, Raw Life has never played this game before, right? Which is fine. See me on Elden Ring. I think there's PvP on there, so all the big talkers out here. Let's see. Let's fucking see. Prince of Lude. No, it's not my first. I've been playing for a long time. I just I shirk the just the community standard of having to flex. I don't believe in flexing. Okay? That's the only problem here. I don't believe in flexing. I believe in organically suffering and doing it the right way. And I'm vilified for it, and that's fine. I do have a question. Does it go up on his turns like the other guy, or does it go down on his action?
Read it. It's in the game.
Tick on skeleton action. So on his turns, it doesn't do anything.
Correct.
Oh shit! But it'll go down one time every time the skeleton's action, and twice when I act.
Correct.
That could be an issue. What's this buff about to fall off? Darkness of Eternity. That's his, is that his EX buff?
Yeah. Correct.
Yes, it is. Okay. So we'll be fine. Cross, good luck, Raw Life. Hope you fail. Well, sucks for you, because I brought my favorite character, Guy. So there's no way I can fail. How often does he bring these guys out?
The thresholds.
79,
yeah.
49, 29?
Yep.
Feels really bad to not damage the main guy. I want to kill these side guys really fast because I'm upset.
Yep. As a quick aside, by the way, Mino Spellgood of the Crystal Chronicle podcast has made a post on Reddit which basically addresses the gem cap issue. It looks like a very well thought out and well researched article, and of course, anyone familiar with Reno's Reddit write-ups would know that it's also going to be very well written. I highly encourage anyone who is on Reddit to go look that up. I'll include it in the video in the VODs description, just so you can link it, check it out easily. But go look that up and give it some support. Kind of try to raise its visibility, because I think it's probably going to be a very good bit of feedback for Squex to get.
Holy shit! These guys, the ads do HP attacks.
Yes, they do.
Did not see that coming.
Terrifying.
Luckily, I have fucking Guy on the field.
Yeah, sure.
Unluckily, I did not have Locke on on any of the ads, so they almost killed Kuja. But they didn't kill Kuja, so we're fine.
You're right.
Yeah, Mino can be shockingly well-spoken and succinct when all zeros. It's good when he wants to be. So I kind of need to kill these guys right here on this turn.
Yeah, you do.
I think I'm going to go ahead and gamble that... Wait, his EX is about to fall off, though. Fuck! I don't think his EX will kill him. 8-hit group magic attack and group HP attack.
Yeah.
It's a single split or single full damage dump.
I'll let his EX fall off and hit him with a LD instead, just to make sure they die.
I think that's reasonable.
See, Sam, you hit the boss. I know, that was a mistake. Believe it or not, I make mistakes very rare. Oh no, the other guy didn't die! C didn't die, he's gonna kill Kuja.
I did not see that coming.
He's gonna kill Kuja on his turn. Oh, fuck.
Vanille!
Vanille! Oh, Vanille was a bad idea. Vanille sucks. Vanille bad. Just like Shadow on the lock dodge tank fiasco, the drama we had. Guess who was right then? Me. Guess who was right here? Me. It's a fucking get used to it. Chat, I'm seeing a lot of new names in chat. Get fucking used to it. That's what happens here. I do some cool original shit off the sweat of my own brow, and my co-hosts, this Twitch chat, everyone unanimously pans it. How are you going to bring a log tank and a dodge tank in the same fight? Blah, blah, blah. Why are you going to bring Vanille here? Guess what? I know what I'm fucking doing. It's not my first fucking rodeo. Let's fucking get this shit. Let's get this shit. I'm in a great mood right
I'm
now.
pretty excited, not gonna lie. I talk a lot of shit because I want to see Raw be his best self, and it looks like he may, in fact, do just that tonight. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I'm
That being said, if you fail, I will laugh a lot. Either way, I win. It's a great setup if you're me.
Yeah, you're gonna win because I'm gonna win.
Hell yeah.
He's already lost 25% of his health. Surely nothing else can happen that could fuck this up, right? I've still got a burst phase. I'll use the burst phase to kill the ads on the 50%, and then I'll use summon on the last phase. I mean, this is easy for me. For someone like me, who's this good, who's this skilled, with a roster this deep, and with a brain this large, shit like this it's easy for me. That's what you guys don't get. This is easy for me, man. Any questions? Did you not see my pulls? Good players get the weapons. Bl'Art, some girl, who did you bring to this fight? I'm not going to use it to my advantage, but just generally, who did you bring to the fight? How did it go?
I brought Aiko.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
Oh, I'm mad. You were about to die too.
I don't know about that. The EX was going to charge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, was Vanille's EX up?
I think so. It's every other turn, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yo, that is so fucking frustrating.
Oh my god, that is obnoxious. Wow.
God damn it, dude. Well,
I don't know how we should.
it's 10-15.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm thinking specifically in terms of prediction, how we should pay, how we should.
You could just cancel the prediction.
Yeah, just cancel.
Okay, I think we're just canceling it this time.
Pay them all back.
Sorry, guys. Sometimes things. This is just the way the cookie crumbles.
Damn, I was gonna make so much money. I bet against Raw Life, and
No,
I was
no, Vanille,
70% of the points.
Vanille's EX was up.
You're gonna die to something else, though.
At some point.
There was okay. So actually, do you want me to tell you why I voted against you?
Yeah, tell me. There's probably some secret.
Yeah, there's a mechanic that you somehow managed to avoid, but during the ad phase, if you break any enemy 3 times, the ads turn warps.
Wait. One more time.
If you break like any enemy, like a total of 3 breaks inflicted on the enemy, then the 2 ads will get their turns warped up.
And they HP attack, right?
HP attack.
Oh
yes.
Shit. Okay.
And
that's
with
a cool
Vanille
fight.
on the team, that can be triggered very easily because her EX trap will break them in the off turn. You might get 2 consecutive HP attacks. She breaks them, it warps their turns back up, and they attack you again, and then you're dead. That's
cool. I mean, that's a cool fight. I didn't hear who you guys brought because my fucking game crashed. But
I'm just saying.
I
brought Aiko, Lilizet, and Papa Limo.
Aiko, Lilizet, and Papa Limo. And from what you've explained, that sounds like a fun fight. It sounds like it's got everything we need.
It has everything that we need except health. It has no health.
So it just dies. It just dies too soon.
Like the ads, they have like it seems like it's around 1 million health each, which for what we have that's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. Blood Sword Plus hurts very badly. Lily said in chat.
Yeah, and they use that every turn.
That's cool. Any HP. I mean,
they don't have any other.
Yeah, having HP attacks is great, but
I know it's like not used to having HP attacks, which makes Aiko really, really good for this fight. Like I think Aiko is the single best character you can bring to this fight.
Yeah, I had a great time using Prompt. Yeah, I was using Prompto here, and he was doing great stuff, just keeping us safe. And I felt like I was like, oh wow, he actually feels useful because beyond the usual
attacks.
Yeah, no, wow, defensive mitigation. This feels so good and interactive. I love it.
Oh yeah, there's also the debuff. So you notice how you were doing like no damage with that Kucha LD?
Yeah.
Bloodsword drops a debuff that reduces your HP damage by 100% for 1 turn.
Yo, that is a cool mechanic.
You were still doing some damage because you had HP damage up, like
it was,
counteract.
but you only do the percentage of your HP damage up,
Yeah.
like minus the 100. That's cool. Those are cool. That's what we should. That's what we need in garbage
Yeah,
time,
they need to give it health that you can't just like ignore all the mechanics.
and just burn it down.
Well, I feel like the big issue with this fight was that the orb is an incredible non-entity.
Yeah,
If
Because I
you
thought
bring a whole
the
enchanter, it
the
hits.
blood sword stuff. Okay, that what? No, I mean the attack it does. The orb attack
Oh.
does like
It
nothing.
hurts. It does damage.
Wait, if the
Eh,
orb,
that-
if
that's
the orb,
debatable.
wait, if the orb pops, it's not even lethal.
It's not lethal, no.
God damn it! Never mind. I take everything.
It's an
back.
AoE HP attack and drops a debuff. I don't remember what the debuff actually does.
The debuff is Doom, but I think it also applies an effect to the field where after every boss turn it breaks everyone, which I
Yeah.
believe is dodgeable. Weirdly enough, like I was bringing Vaughn and just like blinding so that the orb attack and the orb post effect wasn't actually affecting the team, and it was stupid.
Before we leave, I want to show the new character. All the end of service people.
Oh, yeah.
All the end of service people are crying because we got some new updates from the JP Ope. One of them was a new character, and the other was they're opening up BTs to everybody, which is great. Pretty much was already true, but yeah, it's not ending. We're good. We're getting Garnet in the future for JP, so there's still some life in this horse yet. I cannot find it, so if anybody can send it to me real quick so we can watch it before we leave, that'd be great. But,
Well, this figure's already out.
Oh, I think you may have spooked someone. The end of panic thing, end of service isn't actually happening. There were people who were crying that it was coming, but it is not.
Yeah, Prince of Lewd, don't worry about it. It was a short-sighted and without any evidence whatsoever take that some people were making based on a decision the devs took. But I think the Ope kind of nipped all that talk in the bud. So don't worry. Plenty of garbage time left for us yet. I cannot find the Japanese DFFOO Twitter. I think it may be deactivated, which would mean that maybe it is the end. Does anybody? I can't find it. What is it called? I thought if you type DFFOO, it comes up. Hello?
Can't see anything here.
Yeah, I can't find it. We'll watch it next week. Blart, final words, final thoughts. How do you feel? Tell the people something.
Oh man, what is there to say? The game is gonna be okay, but man, upvote that post on Reddit, share that feedback with Squex. If you haven't already, on main court or on Reddit or whatever avenue you use to speak to Squex, let them know that you feel this gem cap is a mistake. Assuming you do, which you should, because it's the correct assessment.
Is one. Yeah.
It is the correct assessment that it is a mistake. Let them know that this paid gem cap is a poorly thought out mistake, and communicate that, because at the end of the day, they are beholden to their stakeholders, and we as customers are their stakeholders. Some girl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to kind of beat a dead horse here, but I mean, I was kind of looking forward to buying another costume this month. I don't buy costumes very often. I have a total of, I think, 4. But Rem is one of my favorite characters. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. But I'm like, I don't think I want to buy it. And there's no way that this can possibly be a good state for the game to be in. Like, if people like me, where I don't spend that much money on this game other than occasionally, but I have no reason to ever spend again, really.
Yeah. It's a bad state for the game. Go like that Reddit post. Don't forget the power that the players have. Kadaj probably was not going to get fixed until his next tuning pass, and we kind of raised a stink about it, and they listened to us. That doesn't mean that this is definitely going to be changed because the players come together, but don't underestimate the value that your voice has to Squex, because we are customers. That's what we are. And whatever decision, we can't pretend to know what the motivation behind their decision is, but we can.
Oh, sure we can.
We can let them know in no uncertain terms that we're not happy with it, and we deserve, at the very, very minimum, a clear and concise explanation. So, even if it doesn't affect you, remember Blart's beautiful soliloquy. Empathy is a life skill, and if you haven't learned it yet, you need to learn it, and this is a good start.
Even then, it affects you. Like, if
Eventually.
people stop paying money into this game, there will not be a game for very much longer.
Yeah, they're making they're making a big mistake, and there's nothing wrong with us letting them know what a big mistake they're making. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll be back next Monday. I technically did not fail this week, so that is a good thing. Some girl or Blart will refund your prediction. If you made your prediction, you'll get that.
Blart's gonna have to do it because
Yeah,
I entered the prediction. I can't manage it.
You'll get those. You'll get those channels points back. But anyway, what do we get next week? We got some shit. We got some shit coming, right? We got
Got Leela.
Oh, Layla. I'm Final Fantasy 2 guy, so I'm super excited about that.
The superior Final Fantasy 2 tank.
Arguable. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and see you then.
Good night, y'all.
Adios.